Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm going to start today off with a quote or a poem, and then we're going to get right into it. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Man, that's what we are going to talk about today. One of my favorite quotes out there, and it's changed so much as I have had kids or became a dad, and it continues to change. This quote changes every day, and I want to talk about the meaning of this in all aspects of life. Now, as you're listening to that, like, what does it really mean, right? Obviously, I'm going to talk about how it correlates to fitness, how it correlates to sales, and how it correlates to being a dad. And hopefully this resonates with you guys as I go through it. But the first thing that really, really resonates with me when it comes to this is playing small is not the way. God doesn't want you to play small. God wants you to progress. God wants you to be better and better every day. And that is my core belief. And, it's just like being a dad. If you think for a second, I don't want my son to be successful and to grow and to be his best version of himself and to continue to find ways to improve, it's crazy to imagine that you wouldn't want that. So if God doesn't want us playing small and being comfortable and doing what's easy, right? It's very simple. With fitness, it's the same thing. It's like, why would he want you to be in your average version of your body when he gave you this body to expand, to grow, to develop, to lift, to train, to look your best, right? But most guys will do this where they work out their whole life and they look the exact same. They work out their entire life. They go to the gym and they look the exact same. That's not the goal here. The goal is to progress every single day, to get a little bit better, to get a little bit more improved versus what does every guy say? Well, after college or after whatever, I started gaining weight and I slowly got worse and worse and worse. And now I'm here and now I have a dad bod and now I have kids and I can't figure it out, right? And I'm not saying if that's you or you're listening, you're like, man, I have a lot of weight to lose. I hope, it's in every area that we have to let our light shine. And if you've caught yourself holding back because you think that being average is what you're supposed to do, or, you don't want to focus too much on yourself and fitness isn't everything. Those are all just excuses. Those are all just moments of you justifying being mediocre. And when I say mediocre, I mean just being average or even getting worse, right? So think about a time when you've held yourself back. I don't want to get a six pack because that's not that important. Man, I used to say that all the time. I just want to, get in shape, but I don't want to get a six pack because that's crazy. That's extreme and, it's not manageable and it's really not doable to sustain it long term. These are all just justification going through your head over and over and over again. Why not? Go back to the quote, man. Why not? Why did God make you be able to do this? We are able to sustain it. We are able to do whatever the heck we want to do. But if it's in your head that it's okay to just play small in your training and not get a six pack and not be in the best shape of your life and not really go after it, then again, the real fear isn't failure. It's what you'd have to become if you actually committed. And the other thing is this, it makes people uncomfortable when you walk around with a six pack. It makes guys uncomfortable because they have a six pack of alcohol in their hand and you're walking around with a six pack abs and they're like, you know, chugging it and they got the beer belly, right? That's the point of this quote. You know, life isn't meant to just be inadequate and play down so that other people feel good about themselves. It's to inspire other people to go for that and to change and to be like, oh, wow, if this guy can do it, I can do it. And I love in the quote, it says, it's for everybody. Every single person has that ability. And that's what I believe. They can do whatever they want to do. You know, transitioning into sales now, you know, with fitness, I think that's the biggest one for guys. It's being inadequate. You know, it's being, oh, I don't want to commit. I don't want to track my stuff, or I don't want to have a six pack because that's extreme. Who said that? And who decided that that was real? Why don't you go get one and decide on your own, right? Why not just set your bar higher and go for it, because you only get one life. It's not going to hurt you to get 10% body fat and to be lifting heavier and getting stronger and running and doing all the things that you wish you could do, right? Now, transitioning here into sales. I think sales, you know, in business and in life, it's very similar. It's the mentality that I don't want to shine too much, or I don't want to make too much money because that will take away from other people, or it's not all about money. These are just all justifications, man. These are all things that keep you stuck in. I've said them over and over again. So don't get me wrong. I'm speaking to myself here. This podcast is for me, but I'm just, you know, this is my journal of my life so that I can look back at this and I can maybe one day send these podcasts to my son, right? But again, it's the deepest fear isn't that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're actually powerful beyond measure, that we can get and achieve the six pack, that we can achieve the milestone in our sales career, that we can buy the house we want, buy the car we want. That's what frightens us. Because if we can do all of those things, then essentially we have to put responsibility on ourselves that if we don't, you know, if we're not striving for those, if we're not getting where we want to be with those things, then it's on us. And I think that's what's scary. And that's what keeps us saying, it's not that big a deal. Who am I to be, like the quote says, who am I to be brilliant? Who am I to be strong? Who am I to be in shape? Who am I to make $1 million or $10 million or $20 million, right? But playing small doesn't serve the world, doesn't serve anybody, doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve your family. And yeah, I mean, confidence is necessary. Confidence in sales, confidence in yourself, confidence in belief in who you are. Doesn't serve anybody to downplay yourself. Shrinking so others don't feel insecure. I believe a lot of people do this. I really do. You know, you shrink because you're like, I just want to fit in with the crowd. And I've sat here and done that. I'm an advocate of this because I know what it feels like to be like, oh, I just want to fit in with the crowd, don't want to stand out, don't want to be unique, don't want to do this, don't want to be, you know, that doesn't help anybody, including yourself. What does is being a light, being a version of yourself that's the best version. Doing the things that other people aren't willing to do so that when they see you do it, they're like, I can do it as well. That's what I want to live my life for. And now that I have a kid, being a dad, it's even harder. It's like they're looking at me, they're watching me, and I want them to look up to me knowing that I didn't shrink for the crowd. I didn't shrink for anybody, because the only person that I care about is God, and God doesn't want you to shrink or be a lesser version of yourself in any area, spiritually, physically, best shape of your life, spiritually, physically, financially. I mean, listen, some people will be like, well, you know, it's not all about the money and it's not all about what you look like. Again, I think that's just justification. I think that you're just settling, and I think that you're just, you know, full of crap. And I've been there, done that, and I'm not going to go down that road, right? So the last area that I wanted to talk about is kids, and I already mentioned it a little bit. You know, for those dads out here that listen to this podcast, kids don't care what you say. They do what they see. Man, my son, he copies what I say. He copies how I walk, and he's only 2. And so it's like, it's only going to get more and more. But I want him to shine his light as he grows and develops. And we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same if we're doing it for ourselves. And it's really cool because when you do it for yourself, you love when other people do it for them. And I'm cheering on all my friends on Instagram, on TikTok, every single one of them. I may not text you a bunch, sorry, whatever the case may be, but I guarantee you, if I'm seeing your light shine and you're progressing and you're doing amazing things, I am cheering for you. I love it. You inspire me. That is what I love to see. And keep going and keep crushing. The question isn't how do I raise confident kids? It's really, am I being confident in front of them? Am I living my life the way that reflects that question? So I want to leave you guys with this. The biggest fear isn't that we fail. The biggest fear is that we'll succeed and then have to keep showing up as that person. What I mean by that is when you succeed, you get to a new level, you get to a new standard. Now you have to be that standard because you know you can do it. Happens in fitness. People get to a place, they're like, oh crap, I don't know if I want to keep eating this healthy. I'll just go back down here. They get to a place in sales. Man, I got 5 sales this week, 10 sales this week. Man, now that I know that I can do this, yeah, it was a lot of work. I don't know if I really want that. Money's not everything. I'll just get 2 sales this week. No, that's not the way. That is not the way. I think my favorite line, and I'll wrap this up with this. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. And I even have to read the next line because your playing small does not serve the world. That's what this, means to me, right? Your playing small doesn't serve the world, right? There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people feel insecure around you. And I love at the end of the quote that it says, it's not just in some of us, it's in every one of us. So if you listened, you know it is in you. If you want, look up the quote, but that is the show for this week. I hope it helped. I hope it made you think differently. Do not shrink. Be that light. I'm cheering you on. Let's get after it.